keep in mind, millions, I mean, probably at least thousands of tracks in this breakdown. These are just some of the highlights that I could think to play for you. They use parts of the horns, they sample different parts of Amen Brother, like, they really tried to make it look super strong. That's the intro drum. Still used to this day since almost 20 years ago.
A lot of those tracks that you heard were probably the bass, the sub bass in them were probably either 808 or 99.
Yeah. Sit here and play you thousands of songs I have in the computer here that don't ever want them. It don't ever want them. You know, because literally in a year's time, I probably worked on projects. And used to, as an engineer, work on 3 projects a year. And now I work on like 1,000. And out of those 1,000, probably 600 or 700 of them are hip hop rap. And out of those 600 or 700, probably 400 of them got 808s on. 808s now.
It's a good sound.
And like you said, if it's not broke, why fix it? This thing works here.
It keeps proving it. It keeps working again and again. It's just kind of like, you're exactly right. For something else to come along and kind of say become a standard instead of that, nobody can plan on that.
Right.
It's like you say, like this break beat. Some people have heard it so much that maybe they've gotten sick of it, but if it works so well, at some point it'll come back around again.
Oh yeah.
It's like hit songs historically can be a hit song again after about 10 years. Everybody's sick and tired of it. Usually after so much time goes by, it can come around again. But this has been continuous since then. I can't, and for me to have no knowledge of it is what's so great.
You're rolling again?
Mm-hmm. Just for 2 minutes.
Okay. So what do you want me to say?
First of all, that this thing is like 808, and that because they didn't get that far. I don't think 808 ever got said in the film.
Well, in fact, to me, this is a phenomenon, kind of equivalent to the 808, because I gave no credence value at all to 808 when I first heard it either, and I use it and I work with it every day in my business now. And the beat that I recorded in 1969 that still has a value to this day is a phenomenon. There's no. I just wondered if G.C. Coleman, did he have an idea?
Yeah, he found out about 3 years ago. He didn't know to the extent that we just showed you. My only regret is that I wasn't able to sit him down and really show him. And what if you want to just say the thing about not knowing in any way at all that you made this contribution?
You know, yeah, I think but the big thing about this is that when I had, up until Joseph called me, I had no idea, no concept at all, no inkling of an idea that I had made any contribution to a genre of music. And I have no words. I can't say what I feel about that. It'll take a while for that to sink into me.
Just another day of recording.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was just another day of recording. I enjoyed it. I can tell you that. I always had, there's very few times I went in the studio I did not have fun recording.
Well, maybe the fact that you had fun is why it turned out the way it did.
Man, it's a great payback.
You and the smile on Coleman's face.
Yep.
He was always smiling.
It's a wonderful payback.
Well, listen, we appreciate it.
There's about 5 more minutes of juice on because we recharged it. I just got a couple of questions about something real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually get 23 more minutes left on the handheld, so
Oh man.
we can do a few follow-ups. I mean,
I don't think he wants to do that though. Yeah.
Well, if y'all got any specific questions for me or anything, I'll amble on for a ramble and all that stuff. But kids me a little bit and everything. You know, I was just kind of like, yeah, well, he said, so you're kind of like the godfather of, yeah. No. You know, whoever the guys that originally sat down and decided to take that sample out of that thing, and I don't know if you ever, can you trace it back to any one particular person?
It's possible. I'll work on it. We've had so much work so far, we might as well go all the way, right? Track everybody down. But yeah, I don't have much left if y'all.
Okay. Let me turn it back on.
any technical questions?
Yeah. Let me just get it.
That's my, but the difference in music, you know, the fact is that something that I recorded the beginning of my career is still being used nowadays. It goes to show you that everything's changed, but nothing's changed. When I say nothing's changed, I think it's still, music is based off of a feeling and emotion. And it still is. I mean, it's just what you can do with it and what you can do with sounds and how you can manipulate them. But it's still all got to turn out to be something somebody either likes or they don't like. That's the bottom line to any music. So I don't think any one thing has changed all that much. I think music has gone through some changes, and people are still experimenting and stuff like that. But still, I think music to me, and always will be to me, is kind of just a emotional reaction to a sound I hear. And music's always been able to either I like it or I don't like it. And everybody in the world is an expert when it comes to that, because you don't have to explain everything in the world. You just have to react. You just react to it. And it's kind of like why you react to it maybe can be explained, but I never tried to delve into it that much. So to me, it's still, when I listen to all the music that's popped to me now, that's recorded now, I just react to it. As a mastering engineer, I just react to it. I don't sit there and try to analyze it too much. And, but somebody explains to me what am I doing to the sound when they play sound. I sit there and start figuring out why I've adjusted this thing over here and why I've done this over here, because consciously I'm not doing that much. I'm just kind of reacting to it. I hope that explains it a little bit.
Yeah, my battery's dead.
Okay, that's okay.
If your beeper went off, we're probably good. Really tiny.
Yeah, we can do
Okay.
those if you want.
I want to say thanks a lot for, I mean, to put it bluntly, you could have been an asshole that said, no, I don't have time for you pesky kids. You
I
know?
was tempted.
You know, but we drove from North Carolina and you welcomed us here, and everyone has just been awesome to, cooperating with us, and that makes a big difference in how this is going to turn out, and we certainly appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. thank you for inviting me to participate in this. Like I said, I had no knowledge of me being a contributor to anybody's enjoyment. Other than, I know I do in a little way in what I do. I've always been involved in music and everything, and I'm not naive to that. But just thank you for making me aware of it.
Well, thank you for recording Amen on that magical day. I can tell you that people enjoying it is an understatement. People really enjoy this breakbeat, and it's obvious to say without you it wouldn't have been possible. So
You're welcome.
we appreciate it.
People just say, I just gotta confirm this. Like, you know, so many kids have said they literally have gotten off the street because of that
Man.
one break. And I mean, think about the implications of that.
Yeah.
Is just
Well, I think
amazing.
that's in the, to me as being involved in music, you never know. Nobody comes and tells me their life experiences or anything like that. But there's been so many recordings I've been involved in. Every now and then somebody will come in and say, when I was a kid, so and so I heard so. I occasionally hear stuff like that, but I don't hear that very often. But I know that the music I've been involved in over the years, some of it is, outside of Amen Brother, has actually persevered or, stood a little bit of the test of time. And I know that's got to impact people, hopefully in a good way, but probably not. But
Here's one for you, and this might piss off the wrong people. What's more important at this point, after hearing this, what's more important to you, knowing the contribution that Amen has made, or recording Sweet Home Alabama?
What is most important?
What do you consider more valuable to yourself?
I don't know. I don't always say that recording Sweet Home Alabama is a great value to me.
Okay.
I think it's something that happened on that particular day I went to the recording studio, a la Amen Brother, and when we recorded Sweet Home Alabama, I didn't stand in the studio and said, "We're making history." I don't know if anybody did at that time. We just knew we had a good song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we did Amen Brother, I don't think anybody had a sense of even it being a great song. It was just, we got to have a B-side for a single.
Mm-hmm.
Realizing now that the contributions of, say, both songs over the last 4 years, one is a brand new awareness for me, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one I've been able to kind of assess since I recorded it, because it was a big record from the time I recorded it.
But if you had to gauge, do you consider anything more valuable to yourself than that contribution you made to modern music?
You'll have to give me a little time. You have to give me a little time.
We'll follow up with a phone in it.
You tell me. Okay,
you just got all bases covered, bro. Like, that's powerful stuff, man. So
I'm pretty. Obviously, y'all don't have any idea who I think I am. I didn't start out. The thing about in music, I never got into music to make any kind of impact in music. I don't think hardly anybody does.
Yeah.
They get into it, like you said, you got kind of hooked on music, and first thing you knew, it kind of taking over your life and everything. That's kind of the way it did me too. And so I think a lot of people do that. They don't get into it or do any of it for thinking about a contribution they're gonna make.
Well, until now, and I kept this info on hush hush because I didn't want people trying to, rush in and get you before we did. Nobody knows who the engineer of Amen is. This is the first anyone's ever heard. So,
I got proof of it. So people's contributions sometimes are not ever realized, or not ever made public,
later.
or not ever made public.
Or you mean in general, just never?
Yeah, it's just never known that they had a contribution to it. So I know him as so and so. It's like these guys that could come in here and I do hip hop stuff for them. They could care less about all that rock and roll stuff. They could care less the fact. The only thing that I can say to tell them, I engineered Sweet Home Alabama. And he says, the listener sweet, and then they can start singing it right then, because everybody knows it. I can go talk to a 6th grade class.
Yeah.
about recording and stuff like that, and you say "Sweet Home Alabama," and all the kids can start singing.